Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with StewiejP. I'm Stewie and this is the Tier 8 light tank from Russia, the T54 Lightweight, one of the most favourite tanks ever to grace the stage on Clan Wars, platoons and general battles, and this one is just a normal random battle, and BumbleBee 2527, BumbleBee from 88 is going to show you how to carry a Tier 10 game in a Tier 8 light tank without giving too much away. He's on, what's it called? Serene Coast. XVM not giving him the best chance to win, but he doesn't care about that. He's also on a mission to spot and enable allies to do 3,000 hit points of damage. I don't know if he does that in this game or not, but gets his first shot away into the Mutts, the PZ58 Mutts, one of my favourite premium tanks in the game. And he's just obviously decided it's a little bit too hot back there, so he's going to pull back and reevaluate the situation. It's not a bad, not a great amount of tanks going down to this 1-2 line. This area here is the area where you normally win the battle from. You can see not many of his teammates are going that way. In fact, quite a lot of them are sitting back sniping the T10 just in front of him. And so BumbleBee's decided, rather than go in and get blown away, he's going to shoot what the other tanks light up, and hopefully keep his health alive so he can do a lot more damage towards the end of the game. Hoping that 1390 doesn't move back, which he doesn't. He actually gets killed by the T95 after BumbleBee puts a shot into him, and he gets another shot into him. Now they're winning 2-zip here, which is not bad, but the mini-map doesn't look that good. There's a lot of enemy tanks on that 1-2 line. Looks like the heavies have comprehensively won the 8-9 line, which is often where heavies go on this map. A lot of sniping going on here, a lot of chai sniping. That T49 would be as nervous as anything, and he obviously gets taken out by the top tier American heavy tank, the E5. That E5 looks like he's ready to do a lot of damage. Everyone's sort of sitting back at the moment. BumbleBee clearly wants to move. He's worried about getting blown apart by all those tier 10 guns. Only up by one tank now, winning 3-2. He's falling back into a position where he can still hopefully spot some tanks, but also put some damage in. That Object 430 Mark II is pulling back as well. And none of his team really going towards the western part of the map. So BumbleBee just trying to use the good damage per minute, in the gun in the T54 Lightweight to try and put some damage into the enemy team. It just looks a little bit hot on the western side of the map at the moment. The IS-7, the T10 and the Tiger II on the other side of the map seem to be doing okay. But it looks like they've run into a camping Type 5 heavy as well as a Death Star. Very handy shot into the Leopard PTA prototype, the Tier 9 German medium tank, but he gets lit in the process of putting that damaging shot in, because they're starting to really push forward now. The T110E5 on full health is coming towards BumbleBee and his teammates. He's on full health, which is going to be a bit of a danger. We're up by 3 tanks, now they're up by 2, and he's staying here so he can still hopefully try and keep that E5 lit so that somebody can put some damage into him. It could be criticised for not going too far forward to spot, but he's keeping the E5 lit, which I think is the right thing to do for those tank destroyers, the E4 and of course the T95 and the camping heavies. He gets lit by shooting that E5 again. The E5 is a pretty tough tank to penetrate, especially at Tier 8, especially from that kind of distance when he's only showing his turret anyway. But that T49 shouldn't be. The shot must have just went a little bit wide. I reckon if he had aimed for one more second, he would have got that T49. So it's a bit of a campathon happening here. Those heavies that were winning on the other side of the map, not looking too good. Looks like it's just the IS-7 taking on the Type 5 Heavy, as well as the FE215B 183 Death Star British tank destroyer. Looks like the Tiger II just holding back and didn't really want to help his teammate. Looking for a damaging shot. You can see the rectile's not really showing green, so he's loading APCR, looking for a shot on that E5. The E5 really still got plenty of health left. They are still winning by 2 tanks, 7-5. But BumbleBee's just making sure he's still got all of his hit points at the end of the game. That E4 is now copping it big time. The E4's decided it was his job to push. Probably not sure if that was the best idea, because he's lost 1,200 hit points just about. So now BumbleBee's decided now's the time to get in and try and get some flanking shots on these heavy tanks. Now it looks like they're both turning their guns towards him, so he does the right thing and backs off while keeping them lit. And he's got normal ammunition loaded, which is all you need to penetrate the E5 from there. But the E75 is looking at the danger. He wants to get that E75 out of the game. That Type 5 heavy on the enemy team's just drowned himself. That's a handy tank to drown. As the E4 gets rid of that E75 quite comprehensively. He shoots and tracks the E3. Again, you've got to be really careful where you aim, especially when you're only using normal ammunition on a tier 10 tank in this light tank. BumbleBee gets another 250 hit points of damage into him. He's down to 42. Can the T10 finish the job? Looks like the T10 struggling. They're still up by 3 tanks. Now they're up by 4. Hardly in the bag though this game, you wouldn't think. BumbleBee's already had a pretty good game. He's done 2,354 hit points of damage that we've seen. And now he's looking for some more snipey shots on that Mutz. That DZ58 tracks him as well, so he keeps aiming at him, looking for a second shot. Gets the second shot. Looks like he's tracked again, so why not? Why not shoot again? 2 more shots might be enough. It might take 3. It looks like BumbleBee hasn't been spotted here. Bit of a blind shot from the Mutz. And he keeps aiming in the same spot and picks up the kill. He didn't end up moving in the end. He couldn't repair his tracks. Couldn't move out of the way. Now it's a bit of a clean-up operation. Now it's looking pretty good. There's an FV207 who was last spotted down here where BumbleBee's running towards. Of course, the T10 is still on 984 hit points. He's only got 10 more shells left. He might need all of them. Who knows? Artillery kills the T10. And then BumbleBee auto-aims and stays on this side of the T10 because that T10's not aiming his way. He's still aiming at the Object 430 Mark II. Looks like the T10 just fired. And the E4 takes the T10 out of the game. Scoreboard looking pretty good now. BumbleBee's only picked up the 1 kill, but he's done over 3,500 hit points of damage that we've seen. And there's the artillery. We love shooting artillery at StewiejP water tanks. Looks like Artie might be aiming at him, but BumbleBee picks up his second kill and pretty much confirms the win. It looks like the FV215B 183 sitting on the cap. That's the only tank left on the enemy side. So BumbleBee's making a beeline back to try and pick up some more valuable damage. And the Object 430 Mark II probably doing the right thing, sitting on the cap just in case they don't manage to get a reset in. Then, or if they only manage to get 1 reset in, he's going to confirm the win by sitting on the enemy flag. Now the T95, you can see the T95 is going straight into this way. BumbleBee's going to do the right thing here and get him from a different angle, just in case the FV215B, doesn't matter which way he's facing, someone's going to get a shot on him. Is he facing his way? He's not, so real beauty, I'll take that. Resets the cap, and now he's just got to stay out of the way of that big gun. And that's pretty easy to do in a tank where the turret doesn't go all the way around. And the T95 confirms the kill. In the end, a rather comfortable win, 15-10, even though you wouldn't have thought of that halfway through the game when the scores were relatively even. But an absolute ripper game from BumbleBee 2527 from ADA Clan, picking himself up an Ace Tanker Mastery Badge. Bruiser and Fire for Effect. Confederate for hitting more vehicles than any other player on the team. Defender for stopping the cap at the end of the game with the Death Star, and of course the High Caliber. As you look at the second page of the post-game battle results, obviously some of those blind shots did a bit of damage. 5,036 hit points of damage for his 2 kills gave him a massive base experience score of 1,351. You can see he fired 29 shots. Only 2 of those missed and 21 did damage. There was those shots that he bounced into the E5 at the earlier stages of the game. Didn't make a huge amount of credits because you had to fire some APCR, especially those heavily armoured Tier 10 heavy tanks and the T10, the Tier 9. But a massive game from BumbleBee 2527 from ADA Clan, the first clan I was ever in. Thanks for that replay, BumbleBee. That was an absolutely awesome result. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.